Hey everyone, today we are going to be doing another hair tutorial. I guess you can say it's a hair tutorial, kind of. So I wanted to fix this wig for a while. I ended up overtoning it and I just hate the blonde that it is. It's very green, it has a lot of gray in it. The gray is almost like bluish, greenish. It's not really good. It's not very flattering on my skin tone, so I was tired of it and I wanted to change it up a bit. So I'm starting off with this wig. It didn't really have much shape to it. I kind of just trimmed a little bit here and there. So I'm starting with Pretty in Pink. I think it's called Chroma Silk by Pravana. I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely hated this color. And I'm also using light golden brown, dark golden brown by Ion. Really good colors. I'm using a bottle. I'm also using a glass bowl. If you guys use a lot of hair dye, I do recommend you use glass bowls. Really easy to clean. So this was supposed to be the pink that I was using. As you can see, it's very like purplish almost. Here I am just parting the hair, making little sections of where I want the pink to go because that's what I'm gonna focus on first. And I'm just using regular plain water to keep the hair in place. I like to comb it. And I'm using foils to make sure to separate the hair. I wasn't really sure what pattern I was gonna do. So the hair was already cool toned and adding this pink was gonna make it very grayish purple. Didn't really notice that at first. And I felt like it was barely doing anything to the hair. Sometimes when you dilute hair dye, it's too diluted. Depending on the base, it might receive the color, but most times it won't. Unless you want it like very subtle. So I went ahead and I added Orange Blaze, I think it's called, by Adore. And I think Sunflower by Arctic Fox. And that's the color it ended up creating. It was more like a peachy pink. The closest hair dye to this I would say is like Bunny from Lime Crime. And I went over some parts of the purple pink. I felt like it still wasn't that dark enough, so I ended up changing the color again. I was running out anyway, so this was already starting to frustrate me. But here I'm just trying to show you the difference in color. I did need to remove a little bit of the previous color that I had. It's very, I would say it's a little subtle. I'm not sure, maybe it's a big difference. But I do like warmer toned pinks because my skin is in between of warm and cool. If you have an olive skin tone like I do recommend you kind of see which one fits better for you. Because some people are warmer and some people are cooler when they're in the olive skin tone. Some people can actually pull off both, which is insane. That's pretty cool. So here I'm removing some of the excess color to see if it's toning, if it's simply toning or if it's actually dyeing completely. I ended up adding a little bit of a dark red. And this was the color that it gave me. It just straight up looks peach. It didn't end up looking pink anymore. So this was the end results. I did the bottom portion and I ended up running out, so I ended up giving up like halfway through it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go buy some hair dye. So I ended up buying a whole Virgin Pink Arctic Fox dye. It's a good base for a pink, but you are gonna have to change it up a little if you do like warmer pinks. I do suggest you use Electric Paradise. So here I am just wetting the hair. If I'm gonna dye hair, I don't like to do it on dry hair because it takes too much of the product. And when the hair is wet, it will be more even in color, I feel like. At least from my experience, I have been doing hair for, I don't know, more than 10 years now, even on my own head. It's been a while, so I'm a little experienced with color. I'm still learning. I'm not perfect at it. But here I am. I think I'm using Beige and a 9 Gold from Wella. So I'm using those two. The Beige is, I think, the Blondor line, and the 9 Gold is simply from the regular ColorTouch line. So I did a 1-to-1 ratio, of course, and I think I used a 6 volume for the developer. It looks like pumpkin spice color, but it's more of like a beigey blonde color. It's really beautiful. You'll see it at the end. It looks very orange and like crazy, but once it develops, you'll actually see that it's a very subtle change. It's so subtle, but it's so pretty too. I highly recommend this if you like more of like champagne warm blondes, a little more muted. I would recommend this color combo. I left it on for like the full time too. I didn't wash it off quickly. I left it on like probably like more than 40 minutes, you know, because it took me a while to actually finish the wig. Here I'm just trying to show you the small difference. One has been like on the hair for a little bit longer than the other, but as you can see, it starts to brown a little. It's almost like a reddish color. So of course I diluted the Virgin Pink with lots of conditioner. I don't use their diluter. I don't think it's necessary. I've been using conditioner like all my life to dilute hair dyes, and it's worked every single time. It's not a big deal if you want to use their diluters, but if you want to save money, just get conditioner. I like to dye hair when it is dampened, not dripping. Sometimes I do have to like squeeze out the water because I wet it too much, but it's perfect. It's better than doing it on dry hair. The only time I recommend you actually do something on dry hair is if you're going to bleach a small section or if you're going to dye a small section. If you're going to be very fast, go ahead and do it on dry hair. If you have enough color to do so, go ahead and do it on dry hair. If not, I recommend you do it on damp hair. It'll save you some time, it'll save you some money. So now I have parted the hair towards the center and then diagonally towards the center of half of the section. And then I go in half of that section and I parted that as well. If you want your pink to come out through the bottom, you can do that whole half diagonal section, but I wanted more brown, so I went ahead and only split it in half. I hope that makes sense. But if you're watching the video, you wouldn't understand what I'm saying. Again, I'm wetting the hair. The peach was so bad. It might have looked pretty if I styled it, to be honest, but it wasn't what I was going for. I was gonna change it completely. So I'm still using the same pink, and I'm going ahead and putting that all over this whole section. So now I'm doing the middle section, and I'm using 5 Gold by Redken Shades EQ. This thing that I'm doing here is just to make sure that it doesn't like pop out any product when I'm done shaking it. You might want to shake it that way to not risk it going everywhere. Anyway, so I'm using the 5 Gold, I think it's called Caramel, in Redken Shades EQ. This is a very gorgeous color if you already have an orange base. I didn't have an orange base. I was too lazy to do so, I think. I might have had orange, but I think I was just too lazy to do. And I filled in this hair. I was gonna use the brown hair dye anyway on top of it, but I wanted to fill it in so that it wouldn't look so green. The 5G is a 5 Gold. I'm not sure what other colors it has in there, but the dye looked very green before I ended up putting on the other 2 browns that I had of Ion. But this was gonna help fill in the hair a little bit. I do recommend to use, if you're going to use gold, just remember that some hair dye companies do use green to make a gold, and yellow, and those 2 are very similar. So your hair, if it's not filled in with orange or red, it's gonna end up looking, it's very weird, but once you see it happen, it actually makes sense. So you need to be careful about that if you're trying to avoid that color. You could also add a neutral color that's gonna have all 3 pigments, the blue, the red, and the yellow, and that's gonna help fill in the hair. But if you're gonna go from blonde to brown, I highly recommend you add an orange at the bottom. You can always tone it down with the top color that you're gonna put. So for example, I'm using the 5 Gold here. If I wanted an ash tone, I would fill it in slightly with a yellow. I would avoid the red, but I would use the gold, and then on top of that I would add an ashy tone, and it will tone down the gold, but it would still be filled in, so it doesn't look hollow and matte and just ugly. So now I'm doing the top portion, and the top portion was a lot of hair, but I don't know what I was saying here, but I'm just wetting it. Oh, I think that's what I was saying. So what I was saying here is that I was gonna do the blonde first at the bottom, and then I was gonna do the brown. So right now I'm actually putting on the blonde color that I put in the front, but I saturated it a lot more, so it ends up looking a little darker. It looks more of like a level 8 or so. The blonde hair at the front does end up looking like a level 9. Very muted, but I think it's because I brought down the brown a lot more. So if I'm doing a gradient, I always do the light color first. That's gonna help set where I bring down the brown to. And then here I'm going vertically. I'm actually showing you how to easily place the hair dye. How easily to place the hair dye if you need to go in like in between. This tends to always help me, and like, you always want to go vertical if it's closest to the head. It's gonna make your life so much easier. And as you can see, I did the brown. You can kind of see the gold in there. There was a little bit of orange, a little bit of muted brown. It looks nice, but I thought the hair looked kind of meh, kind of boring. So I just kind of wanted to give her a haircut. I ended up just measuring with my fingers how big my forehead is and how long I wanted the bang to be. You can always do that if you're not gonna cut the wig on your head. I kind of like to have the hair in front of me. It's easier for me to cut it that way. But if you're going to measure, I do say put the wig on, cut a little bit to have your measurement, to have your point, and then go ahead and take it off and put it down and then start cutting. So I actually just comb down the hair and then I twist it on the other side. And as you can see, I just go in gently. The look ends up being very wispy, very soft. If you want more like a wham, like a boom type of layer, I would say to have your shears more horizontal instead of diagonal and almost pointed downwards. But if you want something more feathery, I would say point your shears almost vertically towards the ground. And here's the wig. It's very pretty, very like brown, very pinky, very warm. I ended up doing some curls in a 70s kind of style. Very pretty.